Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Sons of the Forest, the new survival game. Some people call it the Forest 2 because it is very the same as the Forest 1 in many ways, but it is a major graphical upgrade and it is a ton of fun. So today I'm going to give you 10 tips how to get started in Sons of the Forest. And the one thing I want to start with is when you install the game, if you can, do not change any of the graphical settings, okay? It does a preset for you beforehand. See how those graphic settings work for you before changing it, because Sons of the Forest is graphically very, very intensive. So try and go with the settings that they give you. And if you're not happy with the FPS, then bring it down a bit, okay? Second tip I want to give you is when you start a new game, you've got custom, which you can make a lot of changes, but there's basically just two options if you want to enjoy the game fully, which is basically normal or hard. I suggest normal for most casual players. I definitely suggest hard for survival game enthusiasts like me. And then peaceful is basically just if you get angry, you know, for dying or failing at something. But peaceful is basically just for the big content creators that wants to run through the game without any enemies to spoil all the secrets for you, okay? They make a living doing that, and so this is more for them. For my community, I'd like you to skip this, start on normal, okay? Go to hard after normal, and then later in the game, to get more value from it, you can go to custom and change the settings. Like, you've already experienced the game now in normal and hard, so now you can, you know, think back to what you liked and what you didn't like, and then you can change the settings to how you want it. Now for this tutorial, I'm just going to give you 10 tips that will help you a lot in the beginning. So I'm just going to start a normal game, and you can save a lot in Sons of the Forest, okay? That's one thing that I will show you, is how to save a lot in this game so that you don't lose progression, okay? And so that the chances of you rage quitting or feeling you're wasting your time is less. So we're just going to skip to the start of the game, okay? Okay, so we just started out in the game. There are 2 starting spots that I know of in Sons of the Forest. Some say there's 3, but I've only had 2. One is up in the mountain, the other one's here on the beach. And this is basically where you start. So we're just going to focus on number 1. Number 1 is to press the I key, but you can go to your controls and change the inventory to whatever key is comfortable for you. Now, when it comes to the inventory key, you can tap it to open it up, okay? Or I'm just going to press E here, or you can hold it, and then you'll have the bag in front of you. And it's the reason for this is to quick access items that you use regularly. So if I like using the axe, I'll have the axe on the bag and stuff like that. To give you an example of that, we're just going to press tab again. Right from the beginning, all you want to do is basically right click on this emergency pack, okay? And then it says click the gear to open the emergency pack, which is quite straightforward. Okay, so we're just going to go open. Okay, so in the beginning of the game, you are going to use the axe a lot, you are going to use the GPS tracker a lot, and you are going to use the lighter a lot. And then, of course, for baseball, you are going to use the guidebook a lot as well, okay? So what we can do now is we can go here, and you can see the axe is already there, okay? And we can remove that. And then you can just add items that you want to access quickly. Luckily, with the map and the lighter, there's shortcut keys for that. And usually you use your knife automatically, okay? Because it's grayed out at the moment. So the axe is already on the quick slot. And to access the GPS map and the lighter, you're going to press M for the GPS tracker and then L for the lighter, okay? So now, when we hold tab, then we can just quickly press on the axe to access the axe. Now, your melee weapon will always be on your right hand, and then your GPS tracker, if you press M, will always be on your left hand. Now, as soon as you've opened up the map, what you can do is press in your middle mouse button, okay, to zoom in and to get max distance so you can see a lot more. It will help you a lot with navigation, okay, or you can go closer. I always like to stay as far as I can. You can press U. I changed this button on my controls. I remapped it. But you've got a utility key that will put away whatever you've got in your left hand. And then you can press L to take out the lighter, like I said, okay? You can press U to put it away, and then you can press U again to put the map away, and then you can press G to put away the axe, so that you've got nothing in your hands. Now, at the beginning of the game, all you want to do is open up all these boxes. You can either hold E on it, okay, or you can go to your axe and just hit the boxes to open it very, very quickly. If time is an issue to you. So we can just go to all of these, open them up very, very quickly, and then be aware of what you're getting. Like we got buckshot there. Read down on the left. What are you getting? Okay, so those are 3 flares, and we can open up this one. And now we're getting energy bar, zipline rope, tarp, okay, and that's why it says, when it says new crafting recipes have opened up, it doesn't mean that learn the basics of building. It doesn't mean that recipes have opened up in your improvised handbook, okay? This is the new building system that gives you basic ideas of how to use the free building system, that you can design your own things, and then you can always press X to go to the old building system from the Forest 1, which is a blueprint system, which is a lot easier. So you can switch between the two. Again, this system is a lot easier, much more straightforward with what you want to build, okay? And you've got a heck of a lot of options with what you can build. Where if you go to the new building system, you don't have a heck of a lot of options with what you can build, but you can get very, very creative. But again, when it says new crafting options have opened up, it doesn't mean there. It means that you picked up something that has opened up a new crafting recipe for you, okay? So to see crafting recipes, you just right click on an item if there's a combined option on it. If there isn't, then you can't. But if you right click, then it will show you everything that you can craft at this moment with duct tape, okay? So we can just right click it again to put it away, and all the items that you pick up, you will be able to right click and then combine it with something. So that's the basic idea of the crafting system. Like I said, you can press E as well. It's a little bit slower, and you can just pick up everything. Press G to put the hand grenade away, so you don't, so that you don't pick up the hand grenade by mistake. And then luckily you can pick up everything right through. But again, I'm just going to equip my axe because I feel it's a little bit quicker. Not when it does that. Not when it does that. But luckily we won't lose. So carbon fiber arrows, which is good. And yeah, just want you to loot your surroundings very, very properly. And then Calvin is going to help you a lot. For enthusiasts like me, I am going to do a 1 life challenge where I'm going to try and do hard mode with 1 life and try and do it as quickly as possible. So put myself in dangerous situations with the experience that I've built up. But you can just come here, help Kevin up. And the biggest thing that Kevin helps you a heck of a lot with is finding food and finding logs. Don't use him to find something that you can find very easily or that goes into your backpack, that you can, like if you collect sticks, at a certain point you can't collect sticks anymore. So let him collect things that takes time for you to find. So there's D, all you can do is press S now, or you can press W. Okay, it doesn't tell you that, but D is to select the option, and then W and S is to go through the options. So getting sticks is not really worth it. You can get sticks very easily. Getting rocks is not worth it. Logs is worth it because you have to physically cut down trees to collect logs. And you're going to need a ton of logs to build a base. So getting him to collect logs is great. And be aware of where you're giving him this command, because it's very nice to say drop here. But before you build a base, look at where you're going to build the base, then walk away from the base and say, okay, I want to collect all the logs that he's going to collect for me here, and then you select drop here, okay? Or you can say give to me, but then he's just going to follow you, and you might be building the base and he drops the logs onto the base, or he hurts you. So drop here is a very, very good option. Follow me is very important, okay, so that it follows you around. Take item, okay, is also a nice option so that you can give him something that he can use. And yes, and then to collect fish, okay. So if we go here, then we can say build a fire or a shelter, which is very, very nice, you know. Like you're busy with something, but you wanted to build a fire for you quickly or a shelter for you quickly so that you can cook food, because food is incredibly important for your survival, for your energy and for your health and everything. And it's very important to cook the food, which I will show you. But yeah, you can let him do that. And yeah, you know, at some point you will be able to tell him to collect fish, which will help you a heck of a lot. Okay, so that's that. Just going to, for now, I'm just going to tell him to stay here. Okay, just going to tell him to stay here. Okay, seagulls is a very difficult thing to hit with the bow. The bow mechanics in this game is extremely hard. So I don't suggest, if you're not experienced with a bow or you don't know how to learn where a bow shoots and be reliable with it, don't focus on a bow just yet. But we want to collect the stick because the spear gives you a throwing arc, which is very, very powerful in this game. Again, I'm going to hold in tab, get my axe. Okay, and to get sticks, you just chop down these little trees. As soon as you chop down the little trees, you'll get sticks, okay? So very, like I say, telling him to collect sticks for you isn't really worth it, because you can collect sticks very, very quickly. And now that we've got a stick, we can go here, right-click on the stick to open a new crafting recipe. So there it says crafted spear, takes duct tape, right-click, and the knife, right-click. And then it takes 2 sticks. So we're just going to add another stick to it, and then we say combined. So very straightforward. You right-click on one thing, and then it will tell you what you need, okay? And now I just want to see if the spear, yeah, the spear is, no. The spear is not on my backpack. So I'm just going to say add this item, okay? And now if I hold it in, I can quickly go to the spear. Now the spear is really, really nice for these birds, because you've got a throwing arc. You can stab, okay? Or you can hold in the button and you've got a throwing arc. And you can see there, the throwing arc is on them, okay? So you hold it, press left click, and there you've got it. And these feathers are very, very important, because you're going to want to craft arrows, okay? So these are very, very, very good in the beginning. And then, of course, you can skin the bird for meat. Okay, so this process is very, very easy. Again, hold in, spear, hold in right click, left click, and then sometimes you're going to miss. But very, very easy. Gonna go again, spear, and if it lands like this, then you can just, you know, if it does that, then it's much easier. And collect a bit of meat, because food and water is going to be a big responsibility for you in the beginning. And again, if they just come to you, that's very easy. See, new crafting recipe, because we've got new stuff. And we've got a spawn point here, but I don't like using a spawn point. It's better to, you know, just have fun with the game. Much better just to have fun with the game, you know. And like I say, the throwing mechanic is a very easy thing to learn. If you can hit them. But yeah, the spear is a lot easier to manage than a bow. A bow takes a lot of skill to use it. Okay? So we've collected a lot of meat there. And the basics that I want to show you is, if you look at the map, in the beginning, I just want you to focus on the purple spots, okay? And then go to caves. Caves are not always dangerous. Caves can give you a lot of resources. It can give you the 3D printer that will help you a lot. And just, you know, if you follow the roads, there's brown roads on the road that will help you a heck of a lot. But just take your time, explore everything, make sure your food and water is fine. Water you get from streams, or you can print a canteen at the 3D printer, which you will find in a cave. And if you find the cave too dangerous, go out of the cave, collect more resources, and then come back. The one big thing that I've learned is I started the game in the snow. My plane crashed in the snow. And then I actually went on the opposite side of the map and collected a ton of resources before I came to this side. Because this side of the map, all the places are, all the markers are. But if you go over the mountain, okay, if the helicopter crashes there, you've got a safe cave there, you've got another safe cave on the other mountain, you know, there's a cave that's not too bad. So just take your time, and if you see enemies, then you can think. But a lot of the caves, you won't see enemies, and you'll find items that are very, very necessary for your survival. But let's just go through the basics here. One thing that's going to be very important for you is to save. So to save, you're going to need a tarp. You're going to, you know, you're just going to equip the tarp because that's the only option. We're going to look down on the ground. We're going to put the tarp down on the ground. And then we're going to equip a stick, okay? And we're just going to left click here where it says the arrow. Just going to left click while we've got a stick in our hand. And then we're going to left click here. And now we can go and sleep, or we can save, okay? So I'm going to hold in E. You guys can see I'm busy with the hard challenge, and I'm just doing a few tests on normal. But I'm just going to go save it underneath here. Okay, that's save. That's how fast you can save wherever you are on the game. And all you do now is you look at the stick and you hold C and you take the tarp back. Okay, and you didn't lose anything. Now wherever you go, you can just put the tarp down, save. Put the tarp down, save. Put the tarp down, save. Okay, so saving, losing progression isn't a big issue. And one big tip I want to give you is the faster an enemy moves, the more you want to use melee weapons. The slower an enemy moves, the more you want to use arrows or a pistol or grenades or explosives or molotovs, because you don't want to waste your explosives or your arrows on a very fast moving target. But all the targets that hit the hardest is going to stand still at a certain point in time. So it's better to keep your distance from the from the enemies that look very dangerous, and, you know, shoot them in the head with a bow, or shoot them in the head with a pistol, or throw them with a grenade, or throw them with a spear, or poke them with a spear and walk back. So very basic. Small enemies that don't look like they pose a lot of threat, use a melee weapon. Big enemies that look like they pose a big threat, the bigger they look, the more dangerous they look, the less you want to be close to them, and the more you either want to poke them or throw them or shoot them with something. Okay? Very, very simple. Now, what I'm going to do now is, because it's raining, I want to show you guys the fire. So I'm going to sleep quickly now, just to get this weather over with. And you can just use one stick. I'm just going to use one stick to sleep quickly. Looks like it's still raining. Okay, hopefully it's not raining anymore. So then I press C. And what you want to do now with the stick is look down at the ground. You'll see the two little sticks. So you just click it, okay? Click it twice. Then you've got a fire. It's going to give you automatic option to light the fire. Now, the food that you got, you can eat raw. Like, if you go to the if you go here, there's no other option than just to eat it, okay? And yes, it's going to give you food, but it's not going to give you a lot of health. And health is the only thing saving you in this game. So what you want to do is go over the fire, okay? And then hold E, and then, so you want to look at the fire, hold E, and then you want to say use. Because now you're going to drop the food on the fire. And you can drop more leaves on the fire as well, just to keep it stoked, okay? And you can press G to close it. And again, press G to put that away, press U to put that away, press Control to crouch down, and now you just look at the meat, and it's going to change color as soon as it's cooked. It says you can eat it now, but you're going to wait for the color to change so that you know it's cooked. There it's changed, changed. Very, very, very quick, okay? So now we've got cooked meat. We're going to eat it. Now look at our health. Our health is the red bar. On the bottom right, look at the red bar. Look how much the red bar climbs. That is the difference between surviving and not surviving, okay? We can eat it again. So we can either just eat the food to fill up our food, or we can eat the food to fill up our health. I'm going to eat again. You know, killing 3 pelicans was nothing. So there we go. We've got full health. We don't need to use the candy. We don't need to use the meds. These are for emergencies. Not that everyone just pops them in the beginning, but it's not necessary to pop them in the beginning, okay? So now we've got full health. We can get a bit of water, okay? Water will help us with our stamina. Everything you do increases your strength and will help you to carry more. Now, what do I mean by that? Yeah, the spear. Yeah, that's a good setup there. What do I mean by that? Look at the little muscle arm at your indicators. Okay, look at the little muscle arm. Now look when I chop the tree. Okay, and another thing about hitting, if you're holding the button, you're going to do a power move. This isn't so good on this little axe, but it is really, really good when you get a bigger axe. You can get a bigger axe and bigger weapons, and then with the big axe, a power move helps a lot. But we can just click here. Just click the button. Now look at that red bar. Look at that little muscle icon. We're going to regain our stamina. Just look at the muscle icon, guys. Look at the muscle icon. And the tree falls in the way that you're standing when you're chopping the tree. Look at the muscle icon. See, the tree always falls away from me. That's how I can control the direction. But that muscle icon is making your character stronger. So we're at level 0 with strength at the moment. The more we chop down the trees and work physically, the stronger we're going to get. The harder we'll be able to hit, and the more we will be able to carry. So I want this tree to fall this way again. So I'm just going to keep chopping like this. Stand like this. And it falls that way. Nice and controlled. You don't want the tree to fall on your base. It will destroy your base. Not destroy what you made your base out of, but just, you know, it's tedious to place all the items again. So now at the moment, you can carry 2 logs. Okay? Can't carry any more than that. And you can just press G to throw the logs away. You can chop the logs into smaller pieces. Okay? So you just get a line on it. Press left mouse button twice. And then you can split it sideways like this. Again, just get the line on it and split it like that. You can make firewood. The building system is really, really intuitive, guys. But now we're just gonna go to the water quickly. And I'm gonna share a few final things for you before you get started. Okay, so we're close to the river, which is away from the ocean. Now we can just hold E to drink water. You will see our stamina gets better. Okay, clearly see our stamina is getting better. And there we go. And of course you can see our strength is high, but now we want to sleep because you want to sleep when your food and your water is good. Okay, so we're just going to sleep quickly. Going to equip the top, put it down, get the stick, put it in there. Now we're going to sleep quickly because that quarter moon is your rest. Okay, so we're rested up now. We can sleep again just to get to daytime. Okay, and now we've got food problems again. Okay, so it is quite important to time your sleeping regimen. But like you see, guys, you can save anywhere, anytime. Okay, it's not supposed to be a problem. And now we can get even more energy because we're thirsty again. We always gain energy while we're thirsty. Okay, and then you can top up the energy with energy drinks and stuff like that you find in the world. Okay, so now we've got a food problem. We've got the candy bar, but I always use that. You know, I always try and keep that. I can always go back, or I could have asked Calvin to get fish, because when you're close to the river, he will go and get fish for you. Okay. Now you've got a spear, which is very powerful. All these things, just pick them up. Every question mark, don't eat it, don't hold in E, just click E until you've got enough. Every question mark, just pick it up. It will show you that it's blueberries, but some of them you can combine to make like herbs, energy potions, and you know, health things that can help you with health and energy and stamina and stuff like that. So every time you see a question mark, just click E. Okay, don't eat it, just click E. You don't know if it's healthy, you don't know what the food value is. Okay, just click E on it. And then we're going to get out the spear again, because feathers, without feathers and little pebbles, you cannot, not rocks, pebbles. Without pebbles, okay, and without feathers, there's a lot of things that you cannot craft. Okay, so we're just going to collect 4 pebbles here quickly. Then we've got 4 pebbles, and as soon as we go to the crafting menu and we right click on it, it says there's stone arrows. Okay, so we've got 4 stones, and we need 2 sticks. We've got 2 sticks, but we don't have feathers. Oh, we did get feathers from the pelicans, but it will be better if you get used to killing birds. Okay, there's a lot of birds in the forest. It's not like you're going to be on the ocean all the time. So what we want to do now, first of all, is get a stick. And when we find rope, then it will say a new, like, there we can see, crafted bow needs rope. We haven't found rope yet, so we need rope to craft a bow, and then we can craft arrows, and then we can use a bow. But like I say, a bow is very, very difficult to manage, okay? But a spear is a very, very good tool. Not only have you got the arc, you can stay at a distance, like hold shift, stay at a distance, okay? To look at what the enemy's animations are and trying to stay out of range. But here's the birds. There's a lot of birds. in Sons of the Forest, guys. And you just have to get used to stabbing them. Okay? Again, mushrooms you pick up. When you see a question mark, you pick it up. So you're just going to look for the birds. And I find a lot of birds everywhere, but especially here by the rivers. And they normally land fairly quickly. Like, yeah, they'll land fairly quickly on something. And then you can just walk up to them and stab them. Of course, you have to be a little bit more accurate than me. But there, okay, the feathers flew, but that's how you get feathers. Okay, you can get feathers all day long in the forest by just killing birds. I'm a little too fast for my own good. Again, just pressing E on everything. So, you see there, combined. Energy mix. We can get energy mix from certain plants. Okay, that's why I say, pick these things up. If you don't pick up items, you don't open new crafting recipes. Okay, now we've got this little squirrel, and we can eat it now because we don't have a health problem. We've only got a food problem. If I had a health problem, I'll cook it. It will give you more food, but in emergencies, you can just eat the raw food. Okay. See, they didn't give me a lot of food, but it's helping me in emergency. And again, if I want you guys to look at that muscle, because it's going to give me a number very soon. If I teach you anything in this video, this is very important. Look at that muscle, okay? The little next to the water icon, look at the muscle icon. Again, tree always falls away. Look at the muscle icon. 2. We have just reached level 2 in strength, ladies and gentlemen. You are leveling up your strength as you are doing physical things, okay? So this game has got a lot of depth. Okay, a lot of depth. And if you just take your time and enjoy yourself, it won't be that hard. Okay, so here's an enemy, okay? Trying to steal the log. You don't have to kill him, but again, we've got a spear. We've got a spear so we can keep our distance from her. Okay, very, very, very safe way to kill them. And remember what I said about the fire? Remember what I said about the fire? Like this woman can give you new things to use. So we're going to look down at the ground, click the button twice, light the fire quickly before someone hits us in the back of the head, because they are usually together. And while you're fighting them, pick them up and just press G over the fire. Might look cruel, but it's not cruel. There is strategy to it, okay? So now the puppet or the tribal person is going to burn slowly but surely. And then she's going to explode into bones, okay? And these bones are very, very important. Why are the bones very important? Well, it opens up a new crafting recipe. So if you right-click on the bone, we can make bone armor. Again, we need rope, but the bone armor, there's 10 little blocks down here. This little circle that I'm talking about here, there's 10 little blocks. Every armor piece you put on is going to fill up a block, which is going to save you from major damage so that you don't die. So you get bone armor. If you kill deer, you get hide armor. if you kill scary, I don't know, people, like eyeless people or blind people or mutants down in caves, and you see a knife icon, you can skin them and use their skin immediately as creepy armor. So make sure that you experiment with everything. Open your crafting menu up every single time you receive a new item and see what it can do for you. Okay? See what it can do for you. It's very, very important. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, just do me a favor and click the like button. Like I say, I am planning a 1 life challenge on hard, where I'm going to try and finish the game with 1 life. Not really focus on a base too much, just basic defenses. But see how quickly we can finish the game and just try and enjoy it as much as possible. And yeah, if you want any future videos on the forest and you found this helpful, yeah, just click that like button to let me know, and click the subscribe button for future content. I'm all about survival, I'm all about hardcore, and I always try and make you enjoy your experience more, instead of just giving you all the clues right up to the end of the game so that you get no value for your money. Have a great day, guys. Cheers.